So, oh man, got ice water starter. So it's a man in the building.
Ready to Love Season 2 is here. Let's get into this review of the first episode. It's the cast impressions. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am E. Gray. I'm here to do a review for the Ready to Love Season 2 series that is coming up. It starts this Saturday, I think, not this Sunday. And I am ready to get this getting going. There was a first episode that came out. It was kind of a cast impression. It was an opportunity to introduce the new cast members, which I liked compared to last year, in which you kind of met the cast members during the first episode. You never really knew who they were. You never really got a backstory. This season, they dedicated a whole episode to them. So I think it was good. I enjoyed it. It gave me an opportunity to kind of get comfortable with the cast, figure out who I think was going to be a match, who was maybe not going to be a match, who was there for that BS. And
do it over season one. I really just didn't have the time to. My life was kind of all over the place, which is one of the reasons that I was kind of drawn to the show. I have been married, still sort of married, about to be not married. I don't know. Point is this 35-year-old man, hey, I kind of understand what some of these people are thinking about going through. So this is kind of my whole perspective, and this is going to be my personal review on the show. So to go back to what I was saying when I didn't have my mic hooked up, because like I said, I am not making any edits. I'm not cutting any of this stuff out. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Point is this. First episode was kind of a preview sneak preview episode. Let me slow down. In which they kind of introduced the cast members for season 2, which I did like. I did enjoy that. I think it was better this way than last season, in which essentially they just kind of took the cast members, introduced them episode 1, and kind of left us alone to figure out who they were. So let's get into this whole cast reaction, kind of give you my thoughts, see who I think may be a potential mesh in a match, who I think is there for the BS, and just get into it. So first, let's start off with the first person to kind of introduce us to, which is Alexis. Alexis was, in my opinion, a very attractive woman. I think she was like 33 years old. If you see me looking off to the side, it's probably because I got notes. I did take notes on the show just to kind of give an informed reaction. Look here, man. I want to make sure when I do this, it is professional as it can be. Hey, it may be a little low budget, but it is professional. So let's get into Alexis. Like I said, Alexis is a 33-year-old single woman from Atlanta. I thought she was totally attractive. I mean, she had a nice smile, beautiful skin, looked like she carried herself well, nice body. And of course, before I continue, yes, this is a male perspective. Look, I am a 35-year-old, totally heterosexual man. So look, when I look at these women, I'm going to look at them from top to bottom, total package, look at them physically, look at them what they say, what they got mentally, spiritually, emotionally going on. But the fact is, the first thing I'm drawn through is essential. So back to Alexis. Like I said, man, very nice, attractive young lady. She says she's looking for a man that's kind of going to take the lead. She's kind of looking for an opportunity to be submissive to a man, which is kind of a red flag to me. When a woman says she's looking for an opportunity to be submissive, it's kind of one of those things where he's saying, okay, I'm looking for the right guy to be submissive to. And I don't know if that's totally the perfect way to look at it. I could be wrong. My thing is, I think that comes with the territory, whether the guy's a perfect candidate or not. It's not saying that being submissive is being walked upon of, but I think it's a woman taking her natural place. So, when she first said that, it kind of stood out to me that, hey, okay, is she looking for a relationship to be submissive in, to be in a woman's place, or does a person or a man have to check off all these boxes, so to speak, to be submissive with? So that's the first thing that catches up to me. I don't know. I think she may have a hard time with that. We'll see. The next woman was 44 years old. Her name was Divine. I don't know if she was originally from Atlanta. I think she said she was originally from Atlanta. Now, she's a little interested to me. When I first saw her, first thing that came off to my mind was, okay, there's a lot of makeup going on. She looks like she really likes to hit the scene, which I understand. I mean, I am from Houston, Texas. I live in Houston. So, Houston and Atlanta, I've been to Atlanta multiple times. They're kind of similar. So understand, it's like, look, when you're meeting a woman or when you're meeting any individual, do you really want to be on the scene all the time, or, what are you looking for? I mean, she says she's, you know, kind of on the look for a man to kind of start a relationship with. She says she's not trying to have any kids, really. She feels that men in Atlanta are spoiled for the simple fact that there's so many eligible bachelorettes to bachelors in Atlanta. And she feels like kind of these men are always just used to women coming up and approaching them. Me personally, I don't really know if she's looking for love. I think she's looking for a lot of constant and consistent attention. So that maybe is what she's looking for out of a male or out of a boyfriend or potential lover going into this series. So we'll see. We'll figure out if Devon is really looking for love or not, or she's just looking for attention. Next person was Kimber. Kimber, another attractive, beautiful chocolate skin sister, 34 years old. She's a realtor. And she said she was definitely looking for love, but she has a backstory in which, her last boyfriend, or one that kind of comes to mind, was essentially a guy that lied to her about who he was. And I don't know if he was a hustler. I think he was. He was about that money. He may have been in that money game, but the point is he ended up in jail. He's in prison. And that was kind of another red flag about Kimber. Just her look, how she presents herself. She's very sexy. Nice body, nice chocolate skin. But she looks like, let's just be honest with you, man. She looks like she's like a little thotty. Just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you, man. She look like a thigh pocket. So she look like she's going to be attracted to the glitz and the glam. I think one of the fellows who I am going to speak about soon, London, I think he may be something that he may want to keep his eye on her. So maybe looking for that glitz and the glam. And I think that's just a part of her persona. I don't know. We'll see if she makes a connection or not. Maybe so. Next person, or the first brother that's kind of up that I'm going to review, is London. London's 41 years old. Actually, he relocated from Houston, Texas to Atlanta, took a job. He played football at TCU from Funky Town. That's what we call Fort Worth, in Texas. So that boy's from Funky Town. The point is this: 41 years old, seemed like a good, decent dude. He's from H-Town, so I'm gonna be pulling for him. Hopefully that he'll find a connection. But my thing is personally about Lundo, and I'm gonna call him Lundo like I know him. I think that boy reps for the Creep Squad, man. I just do. You know what I'm saying? There's a person that is a creep, has been a creep. Let me not say I am a creep. There has been a creep, Hey, man, I think he may be with one woman, but may have his eye out for another one, which is something that these women are going to have to deal with. And it's something that they're definitely going to have to, that they're going to be trying to look to not see as far as a characteristic from a man. No woman ever wants to be cheated on. No woman ever wants to be taken advantage of or kind of lied to. But that's kind of the purpose of the show, which I think got lost last season, especially dealing with my boy Aaron. I think a lot of people thought Aaron was trying to be too much of a player. I think he was personally kind of playing the field the way he should. He was non-committal to the women. I don't think any of them was as tight as he said, in many episodes afterwards last season. But the point is that you do kind of have to, it's a delicate balance on that show. You got to be a man and both a woman who is kind of playing the field, but still trying to dedicate your special time to someone. And I think that becomes a difficult issue on the show. And I think we saw that last year. We definitely did. The next guy up is Darren, 35 years old. He says he's from Atlanta, or I think he now lives in Atlanta. He was a guy that I think essentially his last girlfriend proposed to him as a way of kind of keeping him. I think he said in Cleveland. So he kind of dished that. My thing is about Darren, I don't know, man. I don't know about the brother. He said he's looking for a woman to take, he's looking for a woman that, would take the lead. Like I said, this even kind of part of his backstory is that he's kind of, the woman kind of had to step up in situations in a relationship. And I don't know. I don't think women, especially a black woman, I don't think they're looking for a man that they kind of have to take the lead with. That's almost like having a child, and they're not trying to raise a child. They're trying to get a man. So that's just my opinion. The next brother is Chica, 42. The dude's a barber. I think that's another decent cat. I think for some reason she could actually may end up being at the very end, standing with his lady, saying that hey, he found love on this TV show. He spoke about it and the fact that you know, he's a normal brother, and I think he's kind of looking for someone he can build something with. I think the only difficulty he's gonna find in this show is kind of finding that perfect woman that's is looking for just a normal dude, not somebody with a lot of glitz and glamour. I mean, I know it's a lot of realtors on the show. I personally do have a real estate license to understand that lifestyle to a certain extent, and the fact that it's a lot of glitz and glamour, it's a lot of hustle to it, but you can kind of live this lifestyle, this have this personality, this persona that's very socially dominated. You can live in kind of a social world. There's a lot of mixers, a lot of different kind of luncheons and different things you can go to, especially in that industry. And I know a city like Atlanta that's always popping, especially like in Houston. There's always something to do. So just gonna see if a normal brother's gonna get a chance to find love on this show. Which is kind of one of those things that I noticed picking up on the show. There was a little discussion between Nephew Tommy and Will Packer, who's the creator of the show. And one of the things they mentioned is that they were looking to bring balance of power between the men and the women, which I think is a good thing. I just don't know if they're trying to heavily balance kind of the pendulum that was Aaron last year. I think Aaron scared them for the simple fact that a lot of these women at the end of the last few episodes, they kind of turned on my boy Aaron, man. It kind of made him. I think they made him out to be more of a player than what he was. I think he just had, a lot of suitors from last year's season. I don't know if they were all his matches. I definitely don't think Melinda was his match. I think she was a little bit more aggressive on him than he was towards her as far as kind of creating this relationship. But, I think that balance of power was one of those things that, Aaron kind of scared him. Like I said, it's an interesting dynamic, and I think it's very much real. Last season they talked about the fact that, it's like 20-1 ratio in Atlanta from women to men. And so a lot of these women are in competition to grab them a man out there in Atlanta, especially a straight heterosexual black male. You know what I'm saying? The A does what it does. But, I understand it's a lot of competition. I think that's what Devon was talking about earlier when she mentioned the fact that she think a lot of men in Atlanta spoiled. I think it just may be the fact that, hey, it's just not a lot of, I guess it's not a lot of straight brothers going around for all the women out there in A. And then, steady influx of women that, from other places, D.C., New York, Alabama, Mississippi, other parts of Georgia. Understand how they can make that kind of difficult. So, there was another cat on the show named Brent. He was 39. Trying to figure out about Brent. Sometimes looks can be deceiving. You don't want to make a judgment on a brother. We're going to see about Trent. The next one, Thundy. 42 years old. Oh, man. She is, when I say sexy, to me, very sexy. Very dominant woman. I mean, I like that personality. I like a strong woman. Borderline on mean woman. That's just what I do. So the point is, when I first saw her, she caught my eye and she started talking. She was talking it sounded like that sweet rose language to me. But is that too much for a lot of men? I mean, hey, a woman, curvy woman that's kind of sure of herself, and she got that game that she can talk. That may be a little bit too much for these guys. We're going to see. It looks like it's definitely going to be something that's going to start a little conflict with some of the women and sisters on this year's season. So we're going to see what Thundy is going to be able to do. Like I said, I mean, she is a woman that is very aggressive. She got that bossy personality, and that's what I like. So we're going to find out about Thundy and who she's going to be able to find a match with. I don't know just yet. The next one is Jimmy. Like I said, I think Jimmy has a good personality. I like Jimmy. For some other reason, he seems like a cool brother to chill with, like some of my partners. I think one of the big problems with his personality I think that multiple woman situation is going to rear its ugly eye. I just got a feeling about Jimmy. He's going to find himself in a conflict with multiple women. He just has that personality that's like that. And then the next thing is, he talked about his ex-wife a little bit. He was another guy that I believe, he was a realtor, that said that he was really needy and he needed somebody. So we're going to figure that out. That neediness, I don't know how that wears on women, especially in our age bracket, that mid-30s or that 30s to early 40s. They're not looking for a brother to raise, not looking for a man to raise. If they did, they probably had one with a son by now. And speaking of another woman with a son, very attractive, sexy, chocolate woman, Nina. 32 years old, single mother. Like I said, she's my type of woman physically, my type of woman with the personality. She got baggage though. And that's to be expected at this age. You find women, and you find anybody that's single at this point in time, in their 30s, who don't have a little baggage. Everybody does. I guess the big thing is, she found out her last boyfriend, well, he was gay. I mean, he was looking at gay porn. She named off about 15 sites in the sneak preview episode about gay porn sites that boy was on. So I don't know. I think that has to have some effect on you, especially in a city like Atlanta. From what I hear and what I've heard, that hey man, that culture of catch them cats that may like boys, man. That's interesting. So we're gonna see if she can kind of lose that baggage, if she can trust again, if she can find somebody that's a match with her. We'll find out. Just kind of roll through these last few quickly. Next person is Mario. Mario, 42 years old, has 3 daughters. The boy said he's the I think the G daddy. He has a grandchild. Been married before. I think Mario's may make a match. I think his match may be Reva, who I'm going to get to a little bit later. Mario spoke about the fact that, hey, he enjoyed being married. Seemed like he did. The biggest thing was it was just a woman kind of knowing her role and her place, which may bring us back to what was the first one named? Alexis may be a match for Mario, because Alexis was definitely mentioned that she wanted to be submissive. She's finding a hard time with that, but Mario may be a match. And I also think Reva may be a match for her. Reva was 43 years old, and she was former Air Force. She got pregnant. She was the one that talked about, hey, her first sex experience was a 4-pump chump, and she got pregnant. So, I think they may have a natural connection. We're gonna see. Carrie, 53-year-old, that's my old player. For some reason, he's a mix between Paco Rockstar, I think a little bit of Paco from last season, and a little bit of Pastor Chris. I mean, hey man, Carrie, 53 years old, he an old player. He's been doing this for a long time. And I got a feeling that Carrie, he gonna like him young. I don't think he gonna want anybody in their 40s. I just don't see that. I think Carrie, and I believe her name is Aisha. For some reason about Carrie and Aisha, I think it's gonna be an attraction there. And I didn't see anything like that in the previews, but I just think so. Speaking of Aisha, once again, been divorced, 37 years old. I think she had like a kind of a destructive marriage, hard time. She talked about being homeless, staying in the shelter for 3 months with her children. It's one of those things. It's baggage there, but it looks like hey, she made a full recovery. I think she's a nurse. And for some reason, it just seems like her and Carrie is gonna be a match. Terrell, I think he's an undercover player, man. I just really think he does. And I think the juggling of the women is gonna be a problem for him. I think Terrell is the pastor's child. I think that's who he is. But I think he's gonna get into some women trouble. He may be an early reject, off the show. We're gonna definitely see who's gonna be dismissed early, whose time is gonna be up, because they're gonna do that within the first episode. 2 people are not gonna survive, so we're gonna figure that out. If it's gonna be a man and a woman, or if it's gonna be 2 guys. I don't think it's gonna be 2 women dismissed. I don't see. I think they're gonna make sure that the playing field is kind of stacked for the women this season, Because I think season 1 kind of left some women on the show and some of the female fans feeling like the sisters wasn't really supported by the show. You can kind of tell by the dialogue that Tommy and Will Packer was having. Christina, 33 years old, another woman, very nicely shaped. She's an attorney. My thing is, I just wonder, attorney. Once again, I think my biggest concern about Christina is the fact is she really looking for love. She look like she's into, being an attorney at night, by day, and being out in the streets, and living that lifestyle, having that money, maybe turning up, being a little thought pocket on the side at nighttime. So we're gonna see if she really is about this love game, or she's still out, just enjoying her life, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're 33, you're single, you're an attorney. Hey, it is what it is. As we get rolling, I'm going to indulge in a little bit of my life, so a little bit more and what I do for a living. So I understand how it is when it's like, okay, look, you're young, you have a little bit of money, a little bit of cash, why not enjoy yourself? The final 2 rolling up, or the final 3 rolling up, was Michael. For some reason, I don't know, they might as well just call Michael Alex Jr. I mean, he looks identical. He's a truck driver. I mean, I pray that he don't become sick like Alex did, but damn, I mean, they just, for whatever reason, they just casted another Alex, and I think he may make a connection with Thundy. We'll see, but I mean, outside of him being Alex Jr., I don't know what to say about the brother. Not going to diss him. John, 36, another guy that has a personality. I think he does some multimedia stuff. For some reason, I think him and Ashima may be a connection, probably because they both kind of country bumpkins. Let's say that. And I'm from Houston. My family's from the country in Texas, so I get it. I mean, he's from, I think it said Beaufort, Georgia. Ashima, who is 39 years old, she's a comedian. She's from Mobile, Alabama. For some reason, I just think they may have a natural vibe. I'm looking for Ashima. I'm hoping she's going to find a connection. Somebody that's not going to see her just as a partner, which is kind of easy. I mean, when you hear her talk, of course, she's a comedic, she seems kind of open, and you can see how a man would initially meet her, and within, I would say damn near a few hours, or at least 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, she ended up becoming your partner. She ended up being your homeboy. And I feel bad that she gets that. She looks like she's a taller woman. Nice, thick sister, but it just, I can easily see how she can just turn into your partner, your homeboy real quick. But that's about it for me, and that's all the castmates from the previous show. I'm glad that you listened. Hopefully you come back next week. I'm gonna have a review up every week after each episode. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna drop it on a certain day, but the bottom line is that an episode will be dropped following every new episode each week. You can always subscribe, like my channel. I'm going to have it somewhere. I don't know where. But the point is, subscribe, like the channel. Make sure you comment. I want to hear your comments. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram. I'm going to have that posted so you can definitely keep in touch with me. Hey, I want to hear from you. Let me know. Ladies out there, if you got a problem with what I'm saying, you got a problem with what's going to be coming out of my mouth soon, let me know. I'm here to have a good conversation, try to figure it out. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. I'm out.